Mainly, it's kind of like the satisfaction of doing basically a folk art, something that is not done by many people. I think that's the kind of fun part about it is when people see it, how do you do that? And sometimes they give the trade secret out and sometimes they don't. My name's Bob and I make ship in a bottle models. I first started making them in 1973, 74 time frame. I grew up just loving the water. It has a very soothing effect. I usually make friends with bartenders and get my bottles from them, or family members. And sometimes I'll walk my dog through the neighborhood on recycling day and say, "Ooh, that looks good," and I'll take that one, put it in my pocket and continue on. The tools that you need for working in the bottles are not readily available because it is a very, very rare hobby. Usually you got to find some long pieces of metal. Typically coat hangers work really good for that. You have to carve it down to the lines that you've drawn. When I was in the Coast Guard, the U.S. Coast Guard, I was put onto a ship called the Coast Guard Cutter Duane. The whole aspect of floating out there in the ocean and feeling the waves, trying to sleep while you're rocking in the ship, knowing in all directions there's nothing but water. That's quite sobering. And you just have to twist and twist and twist. Having the hull carved and now starting to put the masts and rigging on, then that's when you really see things taking shape. You can get by with a lot less detail because the distortion of the glass model kind of hides some of that. Looks like actually I might be able to trim this one sail a little bit here, so we'll go up here and just cut a little bit off. It requires a bit of patience. My mental state kind of develops into a very focused, very calm kind of state. I'm going to use a soda straw to go in there with some glue. Let's see, I'm going to grab this guy to get a little further in. And will it come out? Yep, oops, oh no. The hardest part of the ship in a bottle modeling is the actual nail-biting effort of getting it into the bottle, into the glue, and standing the sails up for the first time and making sure that everything clears. And it goes. I'm going to turn the bottle around so it doesn't slide into the glue until I know exactly where I want it. If they want to build a train set, you're talking about converting the whole room into a train, with all the scenery and tracks and everything, and it's a lot of money, but shipping a bottle models can be done real cheap. Not quite, yep. There we go. And hold the right strings to get them both up. And then go back in there and try and straighten out that one. Come on, little fella. Someone comes over to the house, they'll say, "What's that sitting on the fireplace mantel?" I says, "Oh, it's one of my hobbies." And they look at us like, whoa. So I guess boasting is probably the funnest part of the hobby. And then pick a cork to go in there. Fewer people are making any kind of models. People nowadays are more involved with their phones and streaming video than to do anything that requires skill with fingers or hands. The last bastions of people who do those hobbies, when they die, that whole hobby will just fade away completely. I just feel like that's kind of the way it is.